So we have a topic about kids and athletics and sports. When is a good time for a kid to join a team? Is it good for a kid to do an individual sport such as jujitsu or gymnastics? Do you recommend any age to do team sports, or is it up to the parent?
I think a lot depends on the parent and the child and what they're showing interest in. I remember early on putting the girls in soccer. I mean, they were 3 years old, 4 years old, and they're at the park, and it was just chasing butterflies. Like the ball was over there, and two kids were under a tree over there, and two kids were chasing each other over there. So it wasn't really a team sport, but you were signing up for team soccer. And it was more just to get them out and see if they're interested in playing with the ball and playing with other kids. It was more, I think, the interactions with other kids that were important.
Yeah.
And then I think starting around elementary school, like kindergarten, it became more like, oh, you think you like playing soccer? Let's sign up with something like AYSO, which is a more organized team sport with practices and coaches and games, but still fun, right? It's not like hardcore. We're going to, Division I soccer. And then like anything else, if things progress, you sort of move up the ranks to more disciplined in that sport. I think the individual sports can be great. I mean, especially with kids with like Taekwondo and karate. I hear a lot of parents do it because it teaches discipline, their body in space, listening to direction. So it can also have really good benefits in behavior as well as in sports. Have you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Gracie Jiu-Jitsu has a self-defense course for kids. I don't know when it starts. I think it might be 5 years old, but it's something I definitely want to look into, getting my kids involved. Maybe not so much Serafina, although I would like her to gravitate towards some type of knowing how to, handle herself, and also for the discipline aspect of it. But that's like a football, right?
Yeah.
You got a kid in your office. He's 15 years old, maybe a freshman in high school. He's playing full contact football with a helmet. Hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, or is it?
The evidence with football and those contact sports, it's concerning. Long-term constant contact and brain damage with CTE and things like that. And this starts early with like high school contact. So, the percentage of people that become professional athletes, think about all the kids who play sports, how many become collegiate athletes? It is the tiniest of percentage. And then the ones who are the best in all the colleges, the percentage that become professionals, it's astronomical. So I think the benefits of sports early on, it really isn't to become the next Michael Jordan or Messi or whatever in that sport. I think a lot is learning communication, learning to follow directions, of course, exercise and health. And then if things parlay out of it, great. But I think it's more for those other things, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. But with football, over the course of a high school or collegiate career, I don't know if there's studies been done where over 8 years of that type of pounding to the body, does it affect the brain in such a way where people are going to have problems neurologically later on? We're seeing it now in football.
Right.
I don't know where football is going.
But I think to your point, it's also if you're going to do those sports, which, I think it's up to the family to discuss. You do it in the most safe and appropriate way, but also know your body. So if you're getting repeat concussions, maybe that's a sign, right, to slow it down. Because usually it's not the first injury that causes an issue. It's the repeat. And then parents and kids who are getting pushed back in and don't let your body heal, you're setting yourself up for more injury. And that's what you hear from players too.
Yeah. And I think what we're talking about, though, to your point, is more of the team aspect, learning to deal with other people and kind of preparing yourself. Because I believe athletics at a young age and during high school and what have you kind of prepares you to, in the workplace, working with other people to accomplish a goal. And I think the team aspect definitely plays into that.
It's like learning that everything isn't always hunky-dory, right? Like winning is one aspect, but losing is an important lesson. You're not always going to win, and being okay and gracious when you lose, and learning either you're going to work harder to try to win down the road. You may pivot to something else, but there are lessons on both ends of the spectrum. Would you let Caruso play football? Like tackle football?
I don't think so, man. I don't know. It's just one of those things that you'd always kind of be concerned about the injury, paralysis. I mean, you see it a lot, especially at the high school level, kids getting, paralyzed or whatnot. I think there's other sports out there, have it be basketball or soccer, even, gymnastics and those types of sports, although gymnastics could be a little dangerous as well. Bowling, that people could get involved in that is not so violent,
But I think the coaches and the teams and the leagues are getting better at this, and I think there's still work to be done. But in conditioning and the safety of the sports, and not just like, oh, get back in there, you're hurt, suck it up, get back in here. I think they're all under a microscope now that they can't do that. Also, that if you're hurt, you got to stay out.
Yeah,
you got to understand that.
No, I mean, we know a lot of football players in the past that, the being hurt just wasn't an option.
Right.
They shot you up, and the next thing you know, you were in the game. So, that's a good topic for also future discussions as our kids start to grow, and your kids are, becoming in high school. And
I expect a Division I soccer player. I mean, that's why I put her in it. So why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Right? Otherwise.
And also at a later date, I want to get into the pressure that parents, and maybe we could do an episode on this, are feeling to put their kids in these sports and, travel, I've talked to you. I'm like, where are you at? I'm in Santa Barbara at a tournament. Some people are traveling, to Dallas, Texas for a tournament. It's like growing up, you were in soccer and you went to the next town to play that team. You didn't get on a bus,
No, but it's a good topic because I think as parents, we sort of talked about this. We feel good when our child does well and succeeds and is the star. Mm-hmm. And so we push, hoping that. And even I have to remind myself, like, there has to be a part of it, like, go just have fun.
Yeah.
And if you're not having fun, then, we should be doing something that we're having fun doing.
I agree. Definitely.
The opinions expressed in this program are not intended as professional medical advice, as a diagnosis, as a treatment protocol, or as a substitute for professional medical advice from your physician. Please consider your own medical history and consult with your own physician for your specific healthcare and/or medical needs and about your concerns for yourself and your family.